live on September 22nd. We're all the wide awake conscious beings in the world. This will be a very short live. I want to talk about the simulation and how Christians say tomorrow is the rapture. Tomorrow's date is September 23rd. I don't know if you guys have seen this floating around on social media, but tomorrow is supposed to be the rapture. Now, let me give you my perspective on the Bible, creation, and how this works in the simulation. I believe that the Bible was created from the future, brought back to the past. You have these mile markers or markers in history where humanity changed. You can look at the Renaissance. You can look at all these different times in history where humanity has changed and elevated their consciousness. So for me, those stories were written in the future, brought back to the past as a guide or as an ascension manual, as a way to live your life, or even as a warning and a foretelling of what's coming in the future as things were to unfold. Now, we know time is not linear. Past, present, future's happening at the same time. These other religious texts as well were written as a guide from the future about humanity. And when I see things like the rapture's coming tomorrow and the world's ending, or all these other things, or the 3 days of darkness and the fear mongering, let me say this first. I love Christians. I love Muslims. I love Jews. I love everybody. But how many times are we going to get banana in the tailpipe? It doesn't work that way when it comes to predicting things or prophecies. You just know they're coming, but when you start selecting dates, it just doesn't jive with me. I'll add this. Astrologists, numerologists, psychics are employed by the government. Do you understand that? That when we think of things, even like the 999 portal day, I knew that that's not even the right date, but it's us connecting on certain days, even though it's just a program of trying to unlock levels of consciousness. But getting back to the government side of things and these things happening. Do you know that nobody knows what time it is? I truly believe that the government doesn't even know what year we're in. Now, you can go on the Gregorian calendar and all these things, but there's something called CERN, right? The Hadron Collider, that they're zapping the atmosphere, and that's where all these Mandela effects come in, right? Is the CERN. They're literally poking all these things out there. We don't even know what year it is. The elites, or our opponent in the 3D, is so scared that they have manipulated time. They've manipulated the game. They basically have a pile of shit in their pants, because at some point the villain's going to figure out, damn, I am the villain. Damn, I did basically project my conscience here to be the bad guy or Satan-esque. So I'm just telling you that when people say the rapture's coming tomorrow or the darkness, I feel like a lot of y'all in our tribe is I don't want to say the best tribe in the world, because we're literally everybody. But you guys aren't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Come on, dog. We've been getting fooled our whole life. Stop it. Okay? Moving a little bit forward. One of the subjects that I didn't really want to touch on was Charlie Kirk. You haven't even heard me say his name. But if you don't think that this is a giant psychological operation, pause. Rest in peace to this brother. His sole contract was to trigger some form of awakening for some people. Let me say that first. Rest in peace to him, his family, anybody close to him. But it is the biggest psychological operation in the world. They are force feeding it 24/7, and they're checking off all the boxes. Us versus them, black versus white, red versus blue. It's so obvious that you have Israel, the United States, the United Kingdom, all these people, even the Vatican, all these people are included in basically trying to present the same thing to us, bullshit of division. The only us versus them is us versus the system. I know you guys know that. It's so obvious. It's 24/7. Boom, boom, the grief, the Freemasons. I said this many times. I'm not knocking. I know I got a lot of Freemasons and QAnon people follow me. I'm not knocking anybody. But if you don't see the hand gestures, the things happening, it's just so obvious. And I'm gonna call out one person that I never, I try not to give these people energy, even though it's back and forth bots. Um, Elon Musk. Now here's somebody who I say is, I don't want to make this us versus him, us versus them, but here's somebody that used to tweet or on X, whatever you call it now, talking about, consciousness, the matrix, the simulation, division a little bit, talking about getting off this planet or off this plane, Mars, all these other things, AI, trying to help in his own way, feeling like he's helping society. And now it's us versus them. It's white versus black. He has literally turned into a shit show of a troll. And yes, his son is transgender. I think that is definitely a trigger point for him. But I'm just seeing it so obvious now. I don't want to give these people much energy. And I have to think that if we know, and they know that we know that what's happening right now, why are they pushing it so hard? Why are they pushing the division so hard? Why it's you can see it so clear at this level of consciousness what's happening, that you just got to say, hey man, I'm going to be the observer. I've tried not to react to things, and then I react to things, but in this particular situation, it's just all so fake and set up to me. Now let me dial it back. About 10 days ago, we had the 999 portal day, and we did a meetup in Washington, D.C. in front of the White House. And I made this goofy video 2 days before that. By the way, that video has probably got over 5 million views now. Our message is getting out to the world that we are star-born beings here in human form and consciousness in this simulation, and we are sovereign and free. Period, with the T. But we did the 999 portal day. I'd seen Trump the day before. He passes by me. I seen him that day. He passes by me. He went to dinner with Marco Rubio, JD Vance, okay, and Pete Hegseth. All right. I'm not even supposed to know these names, but I keep a little bit of a pulse in seeing, okay, what are the perceived villains doing? They had dinner and they made it a public show, and Trump, over his first term, he never really ate dinner in D.C. or made a public show and spectacle. They had the whole street marked off. And then it's like they wanted you to see that they were there eating at a restaurant called Joe's. Obviously, my name's Jonah. And I'm deciphering this information like, what does it mean? And then the next day, Charlie Kirk gets, murdered where everybody can see it in front of the entire world. And then Marco Rubio takes off to Israel and bends the knee and has his yarmulke on and he's touching the wall like they were trying to get rid of some karma. You don't think that they know what's going on? I mean, come on, man. I know I'm not the only one that you can try your best to keep that information out of your field, but somehow, some way it's going to find you, and then you're forced to have an opinion. Now, I didn't have to bring these things up, but I have to think that, I'm going to go back to this. They are scared shitless. They are scared shitless of the things that we know. The people who you think, they say that the loudest person crying at your funeral is the one who did it. Come on, dog. You don't think these people set themselves up? Think about that. You don't think these people set this whole thing up? They made him a martyr. Just like the show, The Twilight Zone. Remember I told you, season 4, episode 4, The Martyr. They're running like this Adolf Hitler type playbook, which is a really strange thing to say because I got the same birthday. But they're trying to run this playbook of, is it white supremacy? Is it black supremacy? Are they scared of melanin? I mean, they know that their time is up. They know that karma is coming. I just hear you say evil doesn't exist. I agree. There is dark and there is light. But even that is an opinion. It's good and bad is an opinion. It's the evolutionary scale of, if you're a low vibrational being, I said this all the time. If you smoke a carton of cigarettes a week, you drink a pot of coffee a day, you eat 5 pounds of bacon, your old lady's in the kitchen, you're smacking her on the ass and using misogynistic language, you are an old program, my guy. But I don't consider you evil or dark. You're just on the lower evolutionary scale of consciousness. That's how the game works. You have old programs like dial-up computers, the people that just can't get out of the system of And then you have people like us who essentially broke free from the programming, who see things at the highest timeline. And why is all this happening? And everything is happening for us. Nobody's out to get us. There is no boogeyman. But explaining this to people, you know how much energy that takes. Because I still see people falling for the psyop. So this is the only time you're really going to hear me speak on those things. And again, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. But it's clear as day what's happening. They can't divide us. We've already done this before. The deja vu the last 2 weeks has been off the charts. You know we're getting close to something. The angel numbers have been off the charts. The ears ringing have been off the charts. I feel so high now when I get in nature. I feel so high, like I'm on a drug. Like it's at some point we all played in the Matrix, but we're getting now where we're done playing in the Matrix. So again, these are some things I wanted to bring up. And the last really little topic that I'm going to hit, the aliens, they're going to try some kind of Project Bluebeam. Stop it. Come on, dog. Really? You're going to try to fake an invasion? They will try everything in the world. And when I say they, I'm meaning our opponent, the Freemasons, the reptilians, anything that Israel, anything that you could perceive as who's trying to separate us. Where's all this coming from? Hey, enough is enough. It ain't going to happen. And dadgummit, that's what happens when you have ADHD. You have a thought on the mind. I should have just beep, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Anybody? Anybody got a question? I'm literally, it was on the tip of the tongue. What is the psyop? Is it that it's fake, but it's actually real? It doesn't. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's fake or it's real. They're shoving it down your throat 24/7. Now, usually when people feel guilty about something, what do guilty people do? They tell on themselves. They're telling on themselves that, hey, dog, we're the ones that did it. We're the ones that did it. And you know, when I say they, those people on TV crying at your funeral, hey, dog, come on, man. I'm not they try to even turn us transgender. They're making it anything but accountability, because even the people who say that they weren't behind it this time are still behind it, because all actions have led to this moment. It doesn't matter. They're essentially the person who did it. And it's at the highest timeline. It's to wake more people up. So I'll just leave it at that. And it's getting weirder every day. How many of y'all's dreams? My dreams, man. Huh? My dreams, your dreams have been off the rocker. I've been having dreams about exes and dreams about the future and dreams about it's the merging of all timelines. How do we deal with going in and out of the vibration? We still have human habits and low evolution traits, but we know what the best way you can protect yourself with anything is fasting. If you read in the Quran, Prophet Muhammad talked about fasting a couple thousand years ago or 1,500 years ago. Oh, I have another one I want to tell you. I have another thing I want to tell you. We're living in, this is the best example I can give you. Have you ever heard of Plato's cave allegory? Okay. Plato existed like 500 BC. He's from a long time ago, and he's a philosopher, which somebody recently called me, and I like that name because I do think a lot. Plato's cave allegory is, imagine if you and your friends and your family were born in a cave. Okay? In that cave, you had chains on your neck, you had chains on your hand, and you could only face the dark side of the cave. And behind you, there's a fire going on with shadows, and there's people talking. So you're looking at the wall and you're thinking that that's reality, because all you know is what's in front of you, what's being shown to you, which is shadows, and you're making assumptions about what's going on back here. And then one day, you or I escape the chains. And we go outside and discover that there's a sun and there's a whole lush green place that's filled with love, beauty, and light. And that's the real world. The shadows were an illusion. Now you're so happy but you feel guilty and you want to go back and help the other people, your friends and your family in the cave. So you go back in and you tell them everything that you just saw. And what happens? They rejected the programming. They rejected what you were trying to tell them because they were in such a level of comfort, looking straight ahead and assuming what was going on and just looking at the shadows, not knowing that that's not really the real reality, that they wouldn't even listen to you. And that's the best way you can describe the simulation or a spiritual awakening. So I don't know if y'all have read Plato's cave allegory, but it's there, man. They even Buddha existed at the same time. They broke free from the matrix and saw that this was a scripted reality a long, long time ago. So whatever it's going to take for for the great majority of the population, hey man, we're here. It's time. It's go time. So anyways, big blessings to everybody, or blessings. We're not saying that word, I guess, anymore. I'm going to have to get a list of all the words we're not allowed to say anymore. Have a great, great day. And the rapture is not here, guys. Come on, man. Let's stop that.